that she feeds 2 different milk-based diets. She wants to see which diet is the best for gaining weight. So she weighs Oreo and Peanut each day for a week and records their weights in hectograms. At the end of the week, she drew the following table to organize the information she found, but had to go to school before she could finish it. Can you help her finish the table? So let's look at Oreo first, because you have to kind of figure out what's happening with Oreo for you to be able to fill in the actual numbers. So again, I'm going from 1 to 2, from 2 to 4, and then here from 5 to 10, because I can kind of figure in what these other numbers would be if you know what the rule would be. Okay, so think for a minute what you think the rule would be here. And go ahead and fill in numbers, and we'll plug in variables in a minute. What we want this column to represent and this column to represent. I just am more focused on what numbers you think should go here. So do that for a second if you can see the pattern. All right, then look at Peanut's diet. Okay, and again, we'll fill in the same variables in just a minute when we check your work. But again, this time you're going from 1 to 1, 3 to 9. Okay, so what do we think might be happening here that's going to correlate with these numbers on this particular table? Okay, I'm going to show you the answers for A. I went ahead for Oreo's diet. We're going to go ahead and plug in D here because that's going to represent the day that we did it, day 1, day 2, all the way down to day 7. W is going to represent the actual weight, how much they weighed on that day. So if you filled in your numbers correctly, this is what your numbers should have looked like filling them in for Oreo. Okay, moving on to Peanut. Again, I'm still using the same variables, D as in day, W as in weight. These are the numbers you should have filled in for Peanut. You can obviously see a pretty big difference already in the diets between Oreo and between Peanut based off of the weight. Okay, so B is going to ask us, what variables did you use? Okay, this is what we used. D we represented for day, W we represented for weight. So that's what we chose to use to represent using our variables. All right, for C, we've got a lot to fill in for C. Okay, so keep up with me which question I'm on. But for C, it says, for each guinea pig, find a relationship between his weight and the day number on which his weight was measured. How would you describe your relationship in words? So it's telling you to go back to Oreo and figure out what's the rule. And then I can put that in words. So what's happening between day 1 to the weight, day 2 to its weight, day 3 to its weight, day 4 to its weight? You should see a pattern happening. Okay, if you are recognizing that you are doubling or timesing the day by 2, it's going to equal your weight number. Okay, so for Oreo, that's what you should have recognized. Okay, and then in a minute, I'm going to give you some time to fill that out because I know I said that pretty fast. For B, you also have to figure out in words what is the rule. So you should have noticed what was happening between the day and the weight, all the way down. This one's a different rule. Some of you, if you recognize that what was taking place is the day number is not doubling, but it's timesing itself to equal the weight number, you would be correct. So for C, how would you describe your relationship in words? Here we have it. Oreo, you are doubling the day number and it equals the weight number. Or you could say that you're taking the day number and you're timesing it by 2 to equal your weight number. All right. For Peanut, you're taking the day number times itself, which will then equal the weight number. All right. So you're not doubling it. You're timesing it by itself. Okay, and right underneath where it's going to ask you to describe your relationship in words, then it's going to ask you to describe your relationship using variables. So then I'm just going to apply this, and I'm going to show it using variables. Okay, there's Oreo, D times 2, there's that double, equals your weight, whereas peanut, D times D, the day times itself gives me the weight. So that's representing it in variables. And then lastly, I can apply these rules if I wanted to know how much Oreo and peanut would weigh on the 10th day. Okay, because on my chart, I stopped on the 7th day. So Oreo, if I applied the rule 10 times 2 and doubled it, it would be 20 hectograms. And if it was peanut, 10 times 10, it would be 100 hectograms. And that would be if it was on the 10th day. So thinking about good old Oreo and peanut, if I wanted my guinea pig's diet to gain weight, and I wanted my guinea pig to gain weight very quickly, which diet do you think would probably be better if I wanted my guinea pig to gain weight really fast? Oreo or peanut? You definitely should be thinking peanut. If I wanted my guinea pig to grow at a very steady rate, a very healthy rate, not too fast, but growing, very steadily at a slower pace, I would obviously choose Oreo. Okay. All right, so this concludes lessons 17 and 18. So again, if you have to go back and rewind to be able to copy some things down because I went too fast, then please do that. And then once you finish this lesson 17 and 18, you can turn